Good morning, Bravehearts, and good morning, Garfield, New Jersey. Welcome back to Marv in the Morning. You know who I am. My name is Marv, the producer. I am the owner and creative director of Bravery Studios. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome back. Welcome back. Feels good to be back. We made it to the end of the week, baby. We made it to the end of the week, and I had a topic for today, but I actually decided against it. I actually said to myself, you know what? We should do something fun on Fridays, change of pace. We don't want to just do a whole week worth of lessons. Let's do Ask Me Anything Fridays. Ask Me Anything Fridays. So in this chat, we're just pretty much gonna chop it up. It's like a Twitch just chatting stream. We're just gonna chop it up and kind of just go with the wind and see where things take us. So yes, ask me anything. Feel free to throw questions in the chat starting now. Throw anything my way. We'll chop it up, or maybe we'll even make a full episode about it, depending on how in depth the response is. Okay, so let's handle some business, right? Let us handle some business, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell to stay up to date and be alerted every time we go live. We go live 9 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday. And you don't want to miss these. You learn a lot from these things over here. You should be taking notes. Listen, if you're looking to start a podcast and you are in the tri-state area, if you are in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, Bravery Studios is the place to do it. We literally do it all for you. All you have to do is come here and speak. We create the thumbnails. We do the graphics, logos. We do the editing, uploading, releases, everything. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it, we do it, right? Bravery Studios is the place to make these dreams a reality. So if you have a dream lingering in your mind of starting a podcast, don't let it live there rent free. Come to Bravery Studios. Let's make this dream a reality. Bing bong, right? Okay. Discord. Guys, we have a Discord channel. That Discord channel, I think, is primarily going to be used for communication. Who would have thought Discord for communication? Who does that? Right? So, yes, we have the Discord channel up. The link will be popping up in the chat shortly. Check it out. If you have a podcast and you would like me to review it, throw your podcast in there. I will check it out. I will see how I feel about it. I'll talk about it on the show, give it a review live on YouTube, and give you some pointers, give you some ideas, maybe some other directions you can kind of go with it. So yeah, use Discord. Join our Discord. Join the Bravery Studios Discord. Join the community. Be a Braveheart, right? Be a Braveheart. All right, the daily shout out. The daily shout out. Today's a special one. Today's a really special shout out because this one is close to home. This one is very close to home. Shout out to Prototype Patterson. Tomorrow is their 2-year anniversary, their 2-year birthday of that location. I mean, listen, I discovered Prototype maybe 6 months ago. I think it was January that me, Will, Matt, and Steve went over there and hung out with the community over there. I want to say it was like January. And the minute you walk through that threshold, man, the minute you walk in there, it's a museum of creativity. The minute you walk, you see the giant lion head. Even though I've heard disputes that it's actually a dragon, but it looks like a lion head to me. I don't know. The stage, the artwork, the community, everything in there just blew my pants off. And I can't believe something so beautiful is in my hometown. Something so amazing. It reminds me of when I first encountered the Art Factory, my first time visiting the Art Factory. I truly fell in love. I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to the creative stuff. That creative jazz just does something to the warmer spots of my warmer crevices of my corazon over here. So yeah, Prototype. I love everybody over there. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Rashad. Everybody over there. Cynthia, John. All the people I met there, all the fat, skinny people, all the tall, short people. I never thought I'd meet so many people. Shout out to David Bowie. David Bowie's not there. I mean, God rest his soul, but that's where that line comes from. But yeah, everything about that place is just spectacular to me. And I always tell myself, listen, if I wasn't here doing this, I'd probably be over there doing that with them, man, because that place is spectacular. Tomorrow they're having their event. Let's throw that up on the screen here, shall we? Let's throw that up on the screen here. Look at this. Check this out over here. So this is their Instagram page. Tomorrow is their event. Closest thing to heaven, Prototype 237. They're gonna have Joy on Fire, Theta Peeled, and forgive me if I mispronounce any of these band names. City of Four, special late night guests are also gonna be there. Yeah. Look, it's going to be a spectacular show with four of our favorite bands from the last 2 years. Come celebrate community music and the DIY ethic. Yeah, DIY too, man. That place is definitely DIY'd up in there. It's beautiful. And let's show some pictures over here of the scene. This is it here. Look at this. This is I think this is salsa night. Speakeasy Milonga event. There we have the them dancing over there. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Hey, look at this. Yeah, these are some of the other events they've done there. This is the creative man himself. This man builds all the sets there. I would love to be able to chop it up with this guy on a podcast one day. I feel like he finds just old furniture that nobody wants anymore, and he turns it into art. And that whole place is designed by him, I believe. But yeah, I absolutely love it every time I'm there. I try to pass by there like every other weekend or what, just roll in when there's not much going on. That there's always somebody there that you can communicate with, bond with. I legitimately love it in there. I wish I could make it there tomorrow. Maybe I will be there tomorrow. Well, we're gonna see. I'm gonna try my best to make it there. But yeah, Prototype Patterson. They're celebrating their 2-year anniversary. Closest thing to heaven, and they really are close to the heavens. They really are the closest thing to heaven. I'm not even gonna lie to you there. They're not even gonna lie to you there. I absolutely love it in there. Yeah, like I said, I might be there tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to make it. It is a friend's birthday tomorrow. Shout out to Rasan, that edgelord, the edgelord himself. It's his birthday tomorrow, so I definitely got to hang out with him too. So, gonna try to kill two birds with one stone over there, or kill two stones with one bird. So we're gonna find out if I can make it over there. But I'm gonna try my absolute best. But if not, I'm sending lots of love over there to Prototype, because man, do I love that place. And having it in my hometown. I'm from Patterson. I'm a Patterson boy. I'm a Jersey kid, and seeing the arts in my city is major. Is very major. Mondo major, because growing up, and there wasn't a lot of. I don't think there was an art scene there as I was growing up, and it always was like the missing piece of Patterson. I always wanted it there to be an art scene there. When the Art Factory popped up, and then and now Prototype, it makes me even more proud. I've always been proud to be from Patterson. It makes me even more proud to be from Patterson now. Patterson is the cradle of the American Industrial Revolution. The silk capital of the world, one-time home of the Lenape Indians. Yeah, so I got lots of love for Patterson. The Great Falls, Hinchcliffe Stadium, historic district. I love every crevice of Patterson, every single crevice of that town. I bleed for it. I totally bleed for it. Like I said, I love the place. And I love Prototype. Silk City all day. Hey, we got Scarlett in the chat. How are you doing today, Scarlett? Today we're doing, once again, it's an Ask Me Anything episode. So feel free to ask away, Scarlett. If you got any questions to throw my way, you can go your own way. I don't know why that song popped in my head, but it was similar to what I was saying, but not exactly. But we're going to roll with it. We are going to roll with it. Guys, the Valor Room. Where is it? Over here. Right here. Bingo. We are working on the construction of the Valor Room right now. We are asking for, anybody that wants to contribute, anybody that can, do what you can with it. Your name will go on the wall there towards the construction of the Valor Room. Your name will be on that white wall right there in the back, right by Speed Racer one. I might be on Speed Racer. We're going to see where we're going to put the names at. But yeah, guys, we're working towards building this room out, getting a second room started in Bravery Studios over here in Garfield, New Jersey. So, yeah, anybody that can contribute, anybody that wants to help out, feel free. The link is in the description. I believe it says donate to the Valor Room. And yeah, your name will be Your name will be entrenched. Is that the word? Entrenched in the halls of history. How does it go? I forgot. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has that line. Your name will be inscribed in the walls of destiny over here. Inscribed in the walls of destiny. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So we're at the meat and potatoes of the episode now. We're at the meat and potatoes, and it is an Ask Me Anything episode. And in the event that there weren't any questions right immediately, I already had prepared a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. But listening to you while I head to the gym is now my morning thing. Learning more new things thanks to you. Oh, Scarlett, thank you. You warm my heart up. You warm my corazoncito up. I really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I love being part of somebody's morning routine over here. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel real good and soft and warm and fuzzy inside. So yeah, ask me anything over here. Ask me anything Fridays. So it's been an awesome week today, this week in Bravery Studios. And if we're gonna do an Ask Me Anything, and I have to pick the first topic to talk about, then I'm gonna talk about how Marv in the morning has been making me feel on the inside. Because listen, I haven't actually recorded anything or been in front of the camera besides doing like Twitch live streams. I haven't really done anything specifically creative or for myself or for the business itself, because this also promotes the business too. I haven't really been in front of the camera to do anything cool in a long time. I'm trying to think. We did Bravery Up maybe 2 years ago. Was that pre-pandemic? I think that was before the Panini. Yeah, I think we did Bravery Up before the Panini even happened, when we were in the Clifton location. But yeah, even that wasn't really like something I could focus on at the time, because back then it was just me running the business by myself, and I didn't have employees. Now I do. I got Scooter and Steve rocking and rolling with me. So yeah, Marv in the morning has legitimately lifted and boosted my my overall feeling for myself, my self-esteem. It has definitely been therapeutic and a release and cathartic. Is that the word? I have always been a creative person, and I get mondo sad when I am not doing something creative. And yes, I work with 20 podcasters a week here, and yes, I am definitely giving them my all and being creative with them and help and giving them ideas and my feedback and working with them on all their jazz. Yeah, that all does make me happy, and I do get a lot out of that. It definitely is something that I really enjoy, or I wouldn't do it. But you got to do something for yourself too. You got to take care of yourself too. You have to make sure that you are, putting yourself forward as well. And Marv in the morning is that as well. Not just Brian Green. What up, bro? What up? How many YouTube accounts you got, bro? Well, you have Street Approved, and this is your personal, I'm assuming, right? Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for always tuning in. Yeah, Marv in the morning has definitely been a fun thing, and it feels good to be back in the creative space for something of my own that I can have 100% of my personality in. You know what I mean? I definitely feels great. It's part of my morning routine. I take a walk in the park in the morning, then I get to the studio, and then I start setting up for Marv in the morning. And then and then I'm here live. I have to make a thumbnail quick. I have to set up the live stream. I wish I could do it the day before, but honestly, maybe I could. I got to figure out how to work that into the late night schedule so I can have it ready a day before. Yeah, this is my personal. I dig it, bro. I dig it. Yeah, man. This is an Ask Me Anything episode, bro. So if you have questions, man, feel free to throw it in the chat. I know Scarlett has something she threw up there too that I'm about to read in a little bit. But yeah. It definitely feels good, and it's therapeutic for me to do this. When you're creative, you have to create, or you are going to be sad. That is the brass tacks of it, right? The brass tacks of it. So let's see what Scarlett said here. What was the biggest hurdle you hit on your podcast journey that you wish someone would have given you a heads up about? The biggest hurdle. Let's think for El Segundo. I think I've had issues with hmm. Everything that I had learned here, I kind of learned it self taught. I kind of learned it as I went along. And honestly, there's a lot of hurdles that like, man, I wish I had gone to school for this, but I also wish I also know like podcasting when I was in college, it wasn't something they taught. Now they have podcasting courses in college, but they didn't really have that when I was in college. So I took TV production, which is the closest thing to what I do now, but very very little of it, very actually almost none of it really taught me how to get ready for this. Um, I wish I had taken business courses. I wish I had taken radio courses because I took television. I should have taken maybe radio, would have been a little closer to what I'm doing right now. But I took television production. I took art. I took Photoshop. I use my digital photography classes every day. I honestly, that's the one that probably helped me the most because Photoshop can be a raging demon if you don't know it. So learning the little that I did there, because I did it and then I went a couple years without using the knowledge, so you lose some of it. So I guess the biggest hurdle is kind of like just being self-taught, just kind of like not knowing enough of the of anything, not knowing enough of anything. I knew just enough to be dangerous. That's all. And that's a big thing in life. You don't got to know everything. You have to know enough just to be dangerous. I wish I had known more. Like I said, I wish I had taken business courses. I didn't take any of that, and I wish I had a mentor. I somewhat had people that I can ask questions to. I somewhat had a shout out to Nick. He was my supervisor in the other building that we were in. I used to come to him with a lot of business questions. But yeah, I wish I had a mentor that was in this space that kind of did what I'm doing now. But because podcasting is so new, I don't know if I would have been able to even find anybody older than me that had been doing this already. So it's definitely hard. I wish I had mentors that kind of knew, the game. But there was no game before me, so I have to be the mentor. I'm over here teaching Scooter the game now. You know what I'm saying? And whoever else comes up, because we're probably gonna be having interns here soon. So, but yeah, I wish I had somebody to teach me the whole entirety of the game. There's not just like one hurdle. Because let me tell you, when you don't know how to do something and you're there spending hours on one task, it's bad. That's bad. I've been doing it 7 years. I think 7 years ago, um, it would take me so long to just do one thing, especially Photoshop wise. Photoshop can take you forever if you don't know enough of it. But now forget about it. I'm speed racer on the keyboard with anything. So forget about it. And business wise, I'm doing the books. You get paperwork done, all that other stuff. I'm dealing with the city. I'm paying off insurance over here. This is a monumental. An establishment. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wish I had a mentor in the beginning. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Absolutely, I feel that when you're not able to create, when you have all these ideas and inspirations, it's not a good feeling at all. Yeah, it's a horrible feeling. That's probably the worst feeling. You have no outlet for your creativity. You will be depressed. It's sad. It is sad. It's kind of like telling an athlete they can't play the game that they grew up playing anymore. They can't do it. That's telling a creative he can't draw anymore. So yeah, it mondo womps. You need an outlet for your creativity when you're a creative, right? You need an outlet for it. So yeah, and it's been a couple years. I hadn't really done anything. I still do Twitch, but I gave up on also trying to how you call it, make it big on Twitch. Once the business got big, once the podcasting business got big, I'm not able to focus on that. You know what I mean? I'm not able to focus on that. Yo, it's drowning, stifling feeling. It's a drowning, stifling feeling. Yes, I couldn't have put it better myself. It is indeed a drowning, stifling feeling. Yes, it definitely is. Um, and it's been years since I've been in front of the camera. Been years. Also, I kind of like since I've been so focused on the business, I kind of let my health and my appearance also uh, go without care either. I kind of um, have been so hyper fixated on the studio that even me as a human, I wasn't really taking care of myself well. You know what I mean? It's only now after like the panini that I was like, well, you gotta get healthy now, Marv. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta make yourself look good. So I probably gained 100 pounds doing this business. I gained like 100 pounds. If you scroll down through the bottom of my Instagram to when I started, like in 2014, you will see a whole different man there. I mean, of course he's younger, but also 100 pounds lighter. And I totally said to myself, I'm not gonna concern myself with my appearance and my health. I'm only gonna be concerned with the business, and that's all that I care about. And yeah. So like, I really, 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 really did not take care of myself a couple years because I was like, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make sure the business is successful. But now we're at the point where the business is successful. The business is making a lot of money over here. So I have the opportunity to take care of myself and look good too, baby. Cause you gotta look good. You're running a business. You're the face of the business. You want to look good. You have to look good. You have to look good. So it was very instrumental that I started losing some weight. Start taking care of myself. Visit some doctors. You know what I'm saying? Did a little checkup. Even though it's been all good, I don't ever have any. I don't have any history of any medical issues or anything like that. I never have, and let's pray to God that I never do. But still, you want to check yourself out. Make sure you're gonna be alive for this, for what you're creating. Yeah. You got to take care of yourself as much as you take care of your work. Yeah, bingo. Your body needs to be just as healthy, as happy. We want you here for as long as possible, my guy. Bingo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mondo appreciate it. I agree because I have many ideas, but when people try to create with, but the people I try to create with don't show the same excitement as me, I feel like I'm doing too much. Nah, Brian. The thing is, I'm glad I read that. The thing is, there are people who are leaders and there are people who are followers. And this isn't a shot at anybody who's just a follower. Being a follower is fine. You're the support. A leader can't do it without followers. But as the leader, you are always going to do everyone's work times 10. Whatever that guy's work is, the follower, you're going to do times 10 of that because you're the leader. And you know what has to get done and you just got to do it. So the people you try to create with are not, it's not that they're lazy. It's not that they're not showing as much energy. They just don't have it. It's not in them. You know what I mean? You can't pull water from a rock. There's no water in that rock. You can't. So as a leader, and I tell this to all my podcasters, because everyone has that issue too. Like, hey man, I feel like my team, I'm doing the majority of it. And the only person who ever says that is the leader. You never hear, oh, my leader is not doing his job. You don't hear that from the other co-hosts. You don't hear that. But as a leader, you are always going to do all the work tenfold. You're always going to do tenfold for your dream. Usually it was you who started it. You came up with the idea. Usually it is you who took the initiative to push forward, and other people joined you because you took that initiative. But listen, I have had 2 business partners in the course of me running this business. I don't anymore. But really, realistically, there can only be like one person leading the ship. There can only be one chef in the kitchen. You can't have 2 chefs. You go to a kitchen and see how much stuff the chef is doing. The man he's pretty much the captain of the ship in the kitchen. You know, if the kitchen is the Titanic, or like the kitchen is the Titanic or whatnot. So as a leader, don't get dismayed and don't feel like, man, I have to do it all. Like, why doesn't my team step up? Why don't they do more? Now, that isn't to say that you can't motivate them to do more. That isn't to say that you can't You can't get them to do more, but you could. A good leader motivates them to do more. You know what I mean? But even when you motivate them to do more, there's still gonna be more work. There's still gonna be more to do. Now that they're doing more, now you got to find something to do with all that energy that you were using towards your goal, because now you have to do more stuff. You got to find other things to do too. So it is that could be a whole episode too. That could be a whole episode too, Brian. Yeah, I agree because I have so many ideas. But when the people I try to create with don't show the same excitement as me, I feel like I'm doing too much. They don't show the same excitement because when you tell someone your dream, they don't have the vision up here for it. They don't have the graphic for it. You know, when you make a movie, right? When you make a movie, you have to do a storyboard to show people, people with money, the producers. You have to show the producers the scenes. You got to show them a visual idea of what your vision is, because they can't see in here. They can't see in here. So no matter what, you have to show, not tell. I usually, like when I was doing this, when I started doing Marv in the Morning, I made a few little announcements about it on Instagram. I even did test like those first videos, that little motivational video I did with make your dreams a reality thing. Forgive me. That was a test for Marv in the Morning, right? But I didn't tell anybody that's what I was doing. I just threw it up. I gauged the feedback, saw if it looked cool or whatnot. But that was me showing what I'm about to do. That was me showing it. You need to be able to have something for people to put in their head as well. You have to have something where people put in their head as well, because verbalizing something to someone doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like let's take the movie Jurassic Park, right? Let's say Steven Spielberg went up to you and said, "Yo, I'm gonna make a movie. It's gonna be about dinosaurs in a park, like a theme park, and there's gonna be crashing up the place." And you're like, "Dinosaurs in a park? Okay, right? Oh, all right. I guess. Am I gonna give you $1 million to do that?" I don't know about that. But listen, you build one of those. What do they do? They had robot dinosaurs in that movie. They had robot dinosaurs, right? And there was no CGI in that movie, right? But I bet you, you see one of those robot dinosaurs, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this movie's gonna be great." It's show, not tell, and it's move forward without needing other people's approval. As a leader, you are gonna get things wrong. And the thing about being a leader, you have to get things wrong, because that's how you learn. But you can't stay stuck on, you can't dwell on your mistakes. You need to take it and strive and do better next time. And you can't let your teammates make you feel like, or your crew, whoever is following you, right? Your teammates, your crew, whatever, make you feel like, or you can't look weak in front of your teammates, because once you make a mistake and then you start feeling down in the dumps, your teammates are going to say, "Hey, this guy's not a strong leader." You got to be able to take things on the chin as a leader. You have to be able to make decisions and stand by your decisions and have confidence. I think more than anything, what really disappoints me about a lot of people is a lack of confidence. And let me tell you, I almost can say to myself, I really don't like having a not confident person around me. And it's nothing against the shy guys and anything like that. But confidence comes from within. And a lot of people think it comes from outside sources. Like, hey, if I compliment this gentleman, it's going to boost his confidence or whatnot. Temporarily, yes, baby. Temporarily, yeah. But you have to find that from within, man. And let me tell you, I push forward. I drag the confidence out of myself. I kind of even bluff myself like it's a poker game, and tell myself, you're the best. You're the best. When I say I'm the best, it's coming from within. It isn't. So no one's ever told me you're the best, but well, actually, yes. Now it does come to me now, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need someone to tell me I'm the best. I know it. Let me tell you, I'm a cocky guy. I to a fault almost, but yeah, confidence comes from within, and a leader has to be confident. You even in your mistakes, you have to be confident. You have to say to yourself, I made a mistake. But what did I learn? What's the takeaway here? I learned a lot. I learned a lot over here. So I'm gonna take this on the chin and I'm gonna push forward and I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do it 10 times better. 10 times better because I made that mistake. Yo, you know how many times we tried to start this business? First, it was at the Art Factory in Patterson. It was me and four other guys. I was like, yo, we're going to start a business. We're going to get this going. I'm probably 25 years old at this point. Maybe younger. Steve was there too. Steve's been since day one. So like, we start a business. We're going to be the Art Factory. Let's get a room. Let's get it started. Blah, 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 bing, bling, bing. And we're going to split the rent. Oh, whatnot. 4 ways. So I think the room was like $700 a month. So I asked one guy, how much, we were splitting it, right? He was like, oh, Marv, I can't really afford to put too much into it. And I'm like, okay, how much can you put in? He said, I could probably put in like 100 out of $700 a month. I was like, all right. I go to the other guy and he tells me a similar story. I can't really put that much in. I can't put that much in. I'm like, all right, okay. I go to the other guy. He's like, yo, I really don't have any money to contribute towards the rent. Oh, I thought you said you did. And remind you, everyone confirmed that they did. We were splitting it for a reason, right? I don't have that much I could put in. I don't have anything. I have zero. I was like, okay, all right. Whatever. I'll put in 500. You guys split the balance. I pushed forward. I was like, you're gonna get a decrease in what your percentage of everything is when it comes back to us. You know what I'm saying? Because real talk, I could have just quit and said I can't do this with these guys because they can't afford it. And yeah, eventually it did come to a point where like we gave up on that time because everybody just lost faith and they didn't believe in it. They didn't believe in the dream. So who's still here today? Me, because I believed in it. I was confident on it. Nothing like this had existed at that point in time in 20. That's probably 2012, bro. That's probably like 2012, I think, or 2013. There were no podcast studios back then, even though we were calling it a radio station. Now the radio station idea was not mine. It was one of those team members. So imagine coming up with that idea and quitting on it and giving it up. Fathom that. But I'm confident to a T over here. You couldn't tell me I can't do something. Especially Marv in his 20s. Listen, Linda, you could not tell me I can't do something. You could not tell me that. Forget about it. Actually, you can very little do it now. But now I have a lot more responsibilities and I have a lot more to think about before I make any decision. I have a lot of people that depend on me to be here and do what I do every week. So I can't be as cocky and arrogant. But forget about it. Me in my 20s, you couldn't tell me nothing, bro. I was about to do anything I wanted to do. And I did. I accomplished everything I wanted to do. In 5th grade, I knew I was going to own a business. I knew it. But before I make this episode a bragging contest, because we don't want to get too into it, but you got to give people the vision the way you see it. You gotta hype them up. You gotta hype people up, bro. You gotta hype people. We got Jason Enrique in the chat, my bro. We're gonna connect tomorrow. I'll see you at noon tomorrow. He said one of the frustrating things of having a project is people complimenting it, but there's always a but coming right after. That's a great idea, but that's why I don't even tell people. I don't feel necessary to tell anyone when you have an idea. Maybe you need people to say that way it could ground your idea a bit. But I feel like if you're going to do it anyway, why do you even need to tell people? I wouldn't tell anyone what I'm trying to do until I do it. And maybe you feel like I got to tell them so they could join the team. They'll join you. They'll join you. They're just gonna join. They will just join you once you get it started because they'll see it. Nobody believes in something until it's there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody believes in something until it's there. So I wouldn't tell people your ideas anymore. I wouldn't even tell them. Confidence is key. I had a co-host who didn't have it and had to part with them. Yeah, bro. Like, if you don't believe in what I'm doing, then don't be here. Yeah, because, if you're not confident, bro, like, why are you even here then? You're here, yo, maybe you'll succeed. I'm just going to stick around long enough for it to win. Nah, man. You don't want that guy around, bro. You don't want that guy around. Because then he's going to reap the rewards. He's going to reap the rewards of your vision, having not even believed in it. Having not even believed in it, he's going to reap the rewards. And it's like, nah, man. Nah. You don't want that guy around. You also don't want to harbor a grudge with someone who doesn't believe in you. You know what I'm saying? I've had people that walked away from the dream and walked back and said, Marv, I made a mistake. I'm seeing how far you've gotten, and I want to be part of this again. And it could easily be a thing where, like, you didn't believe in me before, so why are you coming back now? I don't want you here. Forget about it. And you could do that. You can most certainly do that. But no, I have given people second chances. I think you should give people 2 chances. Just 2. The first and, the comeback. If the second time it doesn't work out, then it's like, yeah, man, you go that way. You go that way. So I think you should always give people 2 chances, because the people that I have let come back have a little more humble. They're a little more humbled. They were a little more humbled because of the fact that I could lose this. I could lose this again. If I walk away from it again, I could lose it. Or I seen what I walked away from the first time. I'm not gonna walk away from it again. So yeah, you should forgive people. You should let them come back in if it wasn't that bad of a parting to begin with. And you have to know who to let back and who not to too, right? Because if it was really bad, the exit, then maybe you don't want to do that. If it was really bad. But I've always given people 2 chances. I've always said, I can't expect a lot of other people to see what I see, because they just can't. You can't see in here. They can't see the vision. They cannot see the vision. They just can't. So yeah, like, give people second chances. Give them a second chance, but that's it. The third time is shame on you, right? Like, what's his face said? Actually, they say the second time is shame on you, but I don't think so. I think 2 is good. 2 is definitely good. Now, also as a leader, you have to be able to articulate well, because you can't just expect people to know what you're trying to do without articulating it well. You have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to get people on your side verbally through well articulation. Articulation is just saying things good. Even though that sentence I just said is horrible, but you got to be good at saying things, because you can't expect people to understand what you're saying if you're saying it in a funky way. Absolutely correct. Because we are all human, and if you made a mistake, would you want someone to give you that second chance as well? Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think if I've walked away from something that I regretted. I'm trying to think. There's been a time that I had to come back to something. No, I don't think so. Being already, like, leadership minded in life, I've never really been the follower. And listen, there's nothing wrong with being the follower too, or being the second in command. There's nothing wrong with that either. But the majority of the time, I'm trying to lead the pack. Majority of the time, my personality just wants me to be in the front. I just want to be in the front, and that can be a bad thing too, because then it makes it harder for you to be around other bosses because everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to be the king, but there's multiple kingdoms. There are multiple kingdoms. So you can be the king of your kingdom. I don't really feel like when another person or another leader is beside me, I don't feel threatened by it. Cause for as good as I am at things, there are weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? There are something that someone else probably can do better than me. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're teaming up with somebody, with another leader, even if the end goal is different somehow, you want to just gauge weaknesses and strengths and see what he's good at, see what you're good at, and distribute the task accordingly, right? You want to distribute the task accordingly because if he's better at speaking, if he's better at communicating, if he's better at what's the term there? What's the thing? Coordinating, delegating, and let him get that space. Then if you're working together on something, I also don't view my competition as like my enemy either. I think my competition and me have a friendly rivalry. So there are other people doing what I'm doing, and I follow them on Instagram, and I try to communicate with them as much as possible. I give a shout out to a guy in Brooklyn, a podcast studio, but he probably won't respond because of maybe the feeling that, hey, that's my competition there. I don't want to promote my competition. But I love having competition. I love friendly rivalries. I think it brings the best out of you, honestly, the best. When I was doing a YouTube channel, I had a gaming channel. This is back in the Patterson days on the island. It was 4 YouTube channels that we created there. There was mine, which was the Villainy Games YouTube channel. Then there was a wrestling, over the top rope wrestling. Then there was the hip hop station, the Real Point podcast, and there was the Darkened Hour, which is like a comic book podcast. And let me tell you, when the Real Point podcast broke 100 subscribers the first time, when they were the first of the 4 of us to break 100 subscribers, and 100 subscribers is nothing. It's nothing now. But we were young. We were new to this. When they broke 100 before me, I really got a fire lit up under me, man. I really said, yo, I gotta step it up, man. We gotta find something. I can't believe they passed us. And I love those guys. It wasn't even nothing hateful towards it. It just was like a cordial envy. Cordial envy. Is that even a thing? Yeah, we're gonna make that a thing. It was a cordial envy. I literally, was just so motivated by seeing them do better than me that I started doing better. I literally was like, I gotta do better, man. And forget about it. From there, that made me create another idea of a video style, and it was called Troy, and we did it. We did like a top 10 video or something like that, and then we finally passed them. And I was like, yeah. And we used to like, I guess it's also like a hip hop thing too, because we're from inner cities, and like hip hop is such a competitive space for no reason, honestly. For no reason, you don't see, but actually the reason is just for the culture, right? For the culture, it's competition is good for the culture. It's good for business. It's good for motivation. Friendly competition though, you don't want it to get ugly. Damn, comic talk. I miss Darkened Hour about the comics. Yeah, the Darkened Hour. The Darkened Hour was there from the beginning. They were one of the OG podcasts from Bravery Studios. That's when Bravery Studios was called Speak Your Mind Radio. That's the first name of Bravery Studios. Speak Your Mind Radio. I think I still have the poster back there somewhere. But yes, if the point I was trying to make was about competition being good, competition is amazing. You want competition. The reason why we have laws against monopolies is because competition is good for the buyer. The competition is good for the buyer, because if there's one guy that owns everything, they control the market, they control the price. the prices. They can put the price all the way high, right? If they own a bond, but if they have a competition whose price is down here, then the guy up there is gonna be, man, I gotta lower my price because that guy's gonna beat me just based off the fact that he can sell it at a cheaper rate. So then the consumer benefits from competition. The consumer benefits from that big time, big time, right? And as bosses, damn, I'm late, but I am here. We got Big Daddy Alucard in the chat over here. How you doing, Alucard? But the bosses benefit from competition because it makes them think better. Come on, like, we would not have all these strives in like technology and automotive and all these things, like, if we didn't have competition. You know, what is it called? I was watching Ford versus Ferrari, that movie. That's a good movie. You guys gotta watch that Ford versus Ferrari movie. And they were just showing how they made the I think it's just called the Ford GT, that car in the movie that Christian Bale drives. And they were just competing with Ferrari, and Ferrari has won every, I don't know what the races were called, the Marseilles race, something like that. Someplace in Europe they race at. You see the engineers at Ford and the driver saying, blah, this, we got to change this piece, because we got to win that race. End up creating a better car because of that competition. You know what I mean? You end up creating a better product because you want to compete with something. That's just the gist of it. I think competition is mondo righteous. You got to have competition. If you are a podcast, let's take this into the podcast world now, right? If you are a podcast that's doing something, look for someone that's doing something similar and think how you can be better, right? How can I be better? And in a friendly way, not even like I'm gonna trash these guys. Nah, man. I think friendly competition is good. Like I said, you definitely want to have friendly competition. That's for sure. That is for sure. And then you could collaborate with your rivals too, man. Collaboration is cool. I think collaboration is awesome. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like collaboration is good, especially with rivals, right? Yes, I would love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, man. Damn comic folks. I miss the Dark Hour talking about comics. The Dark Hour was a really, really cool podcast because Josh had an aesthetic, you know, and he had that whole what is it called? Cthulhu vibes going for it. He had that hourglass logo. The way they spoke softly on the show, everything about it. The Dark Hour was a cool thing. And if I didn't said it earlier, the Dark Hour was one of the first podcasts that recorded at the studio with us, that was here. It's crazy. They were recording it at a church before, and I think they was telling them, you can't curse here, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then they found the radio station. They found Speak Your Mind Radio. That was what Bravery Studios was called back then. And they came over, and the whole vibe was dope. Their whole vibe. I really, really, really dug them. Right? I really dig the Dark Hour. And that's how I met Rasan. And Rasan's like one of my bestest pals. Tomorrow's his birthday thing, so I'm gonna be over there tomorrow, and then Sunday's his actual birthday. So the Dark Hour was cool. Lovecraftian. That was Josh's thing. Josh had a Lovecraftian flow about him. Currently, do you read? Where'd that comment go? I see it up there. There you go. Currently, do you read any books? Yo, if we're talking about motivational books for business or for anything like that, no, not really. I'm not reading anything. The books I have read in the past that have helped me is Malcolm Gladwell. I'm looking at my shelf over here because I still have them over here. Malcolm Gladwell, David and Goliath was like a A big help. Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell, David and Goliath. Uh, that book was awesome. I got that book in college. It was in my college writing 101, and I think I rented it. I just never gave it back because I was like, this. I love this book. Uh, and Malcolm Gladwell goes into using your disadvantages as your advantage, right? Using your disadvantages as your advantage. And I remember he talks about how in David and Goliath, people say that David threw the rock and killed Goliath with just a little pebble. He was able to defeat a warrior. And the way Malcolm Gladwell broke it down, it was like, hey, David was breaking the rules of combat. He didn't know how to be a warrior. He didn't know the standard practices of war. So Goliath wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for that because he probably was underestimating his enemy, his opponent. So that's why David won. You know what I'm saying? He won by breaking the rules of combat, by doing it his own way. There's a lot of stories in there about people breaking the rules, and I love that. I love breaking the rules. They were talking about I remember there was a basketball team. There were a girls' high school basketball team that, I don't know if you guys watch basketball, but when you get a rebound, right? When you catch the rebound, the team usually runs all the way back to the other side of the court to play defense on the other side of the court. But this girls' basketball team would play defense right there on the same side of the court where they caught the rebound, where the other team caught the rebound, and get the ball back. And get the ball back every time. Like, I play a crazy defense, right? And the other coaches were like, this is breaking the rules. You can't do this. It's not what we do. We usually catch the rebound, run to the other side of the court. But these girls were winning every game because of that, because they were just taking the ball right back. And I might be getting some things wrong because I don't watch basketball. I don't know exactly the details of that. But they were breaking some of the rules, and they made it all the way to the finals. And once they got to the finals, they got penalized for doing that, I guess. Penalized or whatever. So, moral of the story is you got to break the rules. You got to break the rules sometimes, right? Apollo Creed helped his rival Rocky to beat Clubber Lang. Yeah, bingo, man. Rivalries are good. Friendly rivalries. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying when I say that, because you don't want to have a vendetta, right? And the word vendetta is like awesome. Like, you can put vendetta at the end of any movie, and it's like, my title is badass now. You don't want to have a vendetta with somebody, right? You don't want to look at your opponents like, oh, I can't walk next to this guy in Walmart or whatever, and whatnot. Isn't that like exploring a loophole? You can explore loopholes. Okay, so look at Drake, right? I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but he's got some bangers, right? Why is Drake so successful? Why is Kanye so successful, right? Why are these two guys successful as rappers, yet they don't look like what rappers used to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Tupac and not look at Tupac. Look at 50 Cent and look at Kanye. 50 Cent is a rapper, gangster rapper, tough guy, larger than life, shot 9 times. He is buff as all hell, and he's from New York. Now look at Kanye. Kanye is like a pillow compared to 50 Cent. He broke the rules. Rappers were supposed to look like 50 Cent looked. They're supposed to have a tragic hood backstory. You know what I mean? Rappers were supposed to be larger than life. Kanye just used to look like some dude. He broke the rules. Kanye broke the rules of rap. He broke the rules of rap. You weren't supposed to look soft in 2004. You weren't supposed to look like that in rap. They were like, nobody's gonna buy your album because no one, people want ruggedness, grit to their rappers. And that's only with rap. That's an example. In every music art form, in every single art form, there is someone who broke the rules and changed the game. I remember, I'm trying to think of these artists who couldn't get into this famous exhibit called the Gallery. Man, I don't remember their name. I think they're called Impressionists. The Impressionist. What kind of stuff are you smoking? I smoke vapes, honestly, and I'm trying to quit. But yeah, I'm not actually a smoker though. But yeah. I wish I did. I wish I did smoke, but I don't actually. I don't actually like weed, and I don't have anything against anyone who does. But what's the name of the Impressionist? Damn, I don't remember their names. Let's see. But either way, they couldn't get into the gallery, so they were like, "We're gonna do our own thing." Oh, because art back then, I think it was the 1700s. I think that they couldn't get into it. Huzzah! Is that King Lex in there? If that's King Lex, that's my guy. I love that guy. But yeah, they couldn't get into the gallery because back then art had to be realistic. It had to also be commissioned by the king and the queen. Back in that period, I think it was the 1700s. I may have this story wrong. You might want to look it up for yourselves after this. After that, they said they couldn't get into the gallery, which was the most famous art exhibit in all of the, I want to say Europe even. So they created their own thing. They're like, we can't get in the gallery. We're going to create our own club over here. And this is going to be the exclusive, alternate culture spot for painters. Alternative culture for painters and whatnot. So they created their own exhibit, and their thing got bigger than the gallery, which was huge. If you ever want to look up that story, it's a great story of people who changed the game by breaking the rules. Because when there is a standard for something, then there is something that needs to be broken so that it can grow. When there is a law for it. Like I said, even if we go back to hip hop and we look at Drake, and what he achieved, and around the time he achieved it, if we thought Kanye was soft in the alternative look then of hip hop, he was breaking the rules of what a rapper was supposed to look like and sound like at that period in time, then Drake is far off into a whole nother spectrum in the sense of like being emotional, showing what's the word? Vulnerability. Showing vulnerability. Now fathom, like a rapper could not be vulnerable back then. You couldn't be soft. You couldn't be singing on a song. I mean, there's a lot of raps that you can almost say like, oh, he's singing on the hook, right? He's singing on the hook, but Drake is 100% hitting melodies over there, and yeah, he broke the rules. You weren't supposed to do that. I think everyone was calling him soft. I think he was the biggest joke among men. Meanwhile, this guy's selling millions. He's selling millions. But yeah, man, that's the big thing about that book, David and Goliath. You gotta exploit a loophole. Exploit a loophole. If you're in a space of, they won't let you in. So you gotta exploit a loophole. I mean, even using the internet now for music, and this is before Spotify and before all of these things, rappers that got big off the internet because they couldn't make it onto radio. Radio was really the gatekeepers of music until the internet picked up. Radio was the gatekeepers of music. And if you couldn't make it on the radio, then usually you didn't have a career. Nowadays, you don't need the radio anymore. Actually, I don't know if, I'm trying to think if there is famous people who are not on the radio. I don't listen to the radio enough to know. honestly. I can't even remember the last time I actually listened to a radio station, and it wasn't just like an oldies station. I have like the radio over there, but I usually put on like an oldies station. Like I listen to like rock and roll from like the 70s or something like that. But yeah, guys. Let's see. Huzzah. I hope that is King Lex there. I love that guy. But guys, we made it to an hour, and this is the longest episode yet, and we came in here without a topic. Beyond everything, guys, beyond everything we talked about, the key takeaways for me is like having confidence in what you're doing. Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and have confidence in what you're doing. And don't fear failure. Don't fear making a mistake, because you will make mistakes in your journey. Everyone does. But you have to learn from it. You got to take it on the chin. If you're a leader, take it on the chin and say, I learned. We're going to do better next time. We're going to do better. Take it on the chin and do better. And sometimes break the rules. Sometimes look at something that you just can't do and say, I'm going to skip that part, right? The artists and the Impressionist artists from the 1700s, France, I think it was. I wish I had better details on the story, because that story definitely motivated me a lot in college. Extremely, extremely, extremely. The Impressionist. I got to look up the time period. Hold on. Before we end this stream, right? What time period were the Impressionists from? The Impressionist artists. The Impressionist movement is from, well, it's 19th century. So this isn't even that old. It isn't even that far ago. Impressionism was a 19th century art movement characterized by relatively small, thin yet visible line brushstrokes, emphasized, accurate. Claude Monet is one of them. Beginnings. I'll get a better fix on the story. But that story definitely motivated me a lot. Great show, Marv. Love the new format. Keep up the good work. King Lex. Listen, guys, King Lex, I owe that man a lot. That man, throughout this journey, has looked out for me like you wouldn't imagine. Love that guy. Make it, research it, and make it a topic for an episode. All right. I don't know how to tie it into podcasting yet. I guess I'll figure it out. Breaking the rules in podcasting. Podcasting is so new that there's no rules yet. Like, yes, I'm giving you tips and tricks every week, but tips are not rules. Tips are not rules. It's still a new genre, so you still can kind of get away with a lot. You can go with scripted stuff, non-scripted. But either way, how you call it? I think we're going to call it on this one. This was a good Friday. This was a good Ask Me Anything episode. We're definitely going to do this every week. Every Friday, we're going to do this. Ask Me Anything Fridays. So what do we got coming for Monday? Monday's episode is going to be about how to give a good interview. How to conduct a good podcast interview. I actually have never been asked, hey, Marv, what's a good way to give an interview? Have a question, maybe for an episode. Yeah. I can dig it, a la carte. I can dig it. How to conduct a good podcast interview. I don't get asked ever how to conduct a good podcast interview, but having recorded at least 1 million of them, I can tell you that there are a lot of bad podcast interviewers out there that I've recorded, and I've told them, and I really feel like this is something that people need to learn, because the majority of podcasters are interviewing people. There's a lot of podcasts that are on, how to cope with 0 viewer streams. That'd be a good one too. That'd be a good one. How to cope with 0% streams. Listen, we have a Discord below. I mean, there's a Discord link in the description. I've seen people do nice streams with no viewers or nobody chatting at all. Yeah. That's if you're doing a live podcast, though. If you're doing a live podcast, then you do have to cope at some point with a live stream with no viewers. You know, maybe you will have to cope with that at some point. Maybe you do have to cope with that at some point. But we'll see. Monday is definitely how to conduct a good podcast interview, guys. Like I said, we have a Discord. If you want me to review your podcast episodes, join our Discord. Put your episode in there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Everybody in chat, give a big shout out to King Lex. His appearance here just makes me so happy. Every crevice of my corazon is lighting up right now. So show King Lex some love. And yeah, guys, give it a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. We're going to hit that old dusty trail, and I'm going to get the rest of this day started. Let's rock and roll. Quite literally one of my favorite songs of all time over here. Quite literally. All right, Bravehearts, it's been good. Once again, Monday, how to conduct a good podcast interview. We're out of here. Let's hit that old dusty trail. Stay brave. Believe in yourself. Don't fear failure. You the man, Marv. 2 thumbs up. Nah, you're the king, Lex. You're the king. I will see you guys soon. See you Monday, Bravehearts. Take my lead. I'll set you free.